Blaketos84 here. We're going to be doing a review of the Unblinking Eye. The Unblinking Eye Tier 3. Your Dead Eye and Eagle Eye drain much slower. So a little bit about this card. If you're a Dead Eye player in Red Dead Online, meaning you go into Dead Eye, whether it be with Painted Black, Slippery, if you go in with any of the Dead Eye cards and you're an active user of Dead Eye, this is going to be your card. When Red Dead Online first came out, before the spring update, this was a must-have in pretty much everybody's stack because everybody was running Slow and Steady as their main ability card. They were running Unblinking Eye to make sure that they stayed in Dead Eye even longer. So it's a pretty powerful card. A lot of people are taking potions now. A lot of people are still using this card, but I don't think it's as popular as it used to be. You know, because I go into showdowns and I look at what people are running. If someone keeps wrecking me, I kind of want to know why and look at what they're using, and then I'll see what they have. And I don't always use this card anymore because I'm not always in Dead Eye. But if you are going to be in Dead Eye all the time, then you would want to use this card. So there's a couple builds that this is a must-have, and I'll go through these builds right now just to kind of show you how I would use this card. So if I'm going to be using Slippery as my Dead Eye card, I absolutely want the Unblinking Eye. And when you look at the last sentence on Slippery, it says the rate at which your Dead Eye drains is increased. So all Dead Eye cards go through Dead Eye very fast. Slippery Bastard is really fast because of it doesn't allow anybody to lock onto you. So to balance the rate that drains, I use the Unblinking Eye. Another one that I use with the Unblinking Eye is definitely Come Back Stronger to help me heal. And then I kind of toggle between To Fight Another Day of Single Purpose, Never Without One, and then sometimes Peak Condition because I'm going to be sprinting a lot to keep my stamina up. So the Unblinking Eye is definitely a really important card because it kind of supports. It's such a supportive card of the Dead Eye system. So let's say that we're going with Slow and Steady. I'm going to use Unblinking Eye. I'm going to use the Hat card, Never Without One. One of the most popular builds before the spring update was to go Eye for an Eye. It says killing an enemy with a headshot restores a lot of Dead Eye. So it's not just about preventing your Dead Eye from running out, it's also about keeping your Dead Eye up. So I played with some guys that were just beast in Showdown Large. They would just mow everybody down. They were always 1-2, and they would use Eye for an Eye. They would use this build for a long time, and they would just house everybody. They would also take potions at the beginning of the matches to help get their Dead Eye all the way up, and then they would pretty much stay in Dead Eye for the entirety of the match, which was very, very difficult to try to kill those guys because they were really good with this build. They would just take you down before you could even get a couple shots on them. They just had you in. So that allowed you to finish in first place in the Showdown series for a very long time. So obviously its importance is up there because you're making money that way, you're making gold that way. So again, if you're going to be a heavy Dead Eye user, you want to be able to maintain that Dead Eye, and the best way to do that, and one of the better ways to do that actually, is to use the Unblinking Eye. So those are the pros to it. I don't really see a lot of cons with this card. I don't really see a lot of negative things with this card because if you're a Dead Eye player, you're going to need it. Now, if you don't use Dead Eye, then it's a pointless card. You need to be a Dead Eye user. So say that you don't use Dead Eye when you get into gunfights. Don't use this card. Not sure how else to put it. It's intended to support your Dead Eye card, and that's the beauty of this, is it goes hand in hand with keeping you up here. So anything you run with it needs to be to support the Dead Eye. So if you didn't want to go with Eye for an Eye because you're a closer range fighter and you use your shotgun a lot and you're not getting the headshots, or you're throwing dynamite, you could go with the Gift of Focus, you know, something like that. So it's obviously discretional as to what you're going to use. So that's my take on the Unblinking Eye. A very powerful card. Depending on the game I'm playing, depending on my situation, I'm going to be using this card a lot. Absolutely a must-have if you're doing the showdown games, in my opinion. So let me know what you think, guys. Blaketos84. Until next time, cheers.